Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my plane seat for a 10-year-old? I, 28F, had been counting down the days to this flight, like a kid waiting for Christmas. I've never been a luxury traveler. In my life, I've only flown economy, and even then, usually crammed in the middle seat between two strangers who both need the armrest more than I do. I've endured crying babies, people who kick the seat, and one memorable flight where the guy next to me ate boiled eggs and fish paste for the entire 6 hours. So when my boss told me that my company was sending me to London for a marketing conference and booking me in business class, I almost cried. I told all my friends, my parents, even my neighbor. I looked up videos of what to expect in business class on YouTube. I saved my nicest travel outfit so I could feel like I belonged there. The day of the flight, I got to the airport 3 hours early. I went through security without rushing, explored the duty-free shops, and then headed to the business lounge. It was everything I imagined: quiet, comfy chairs, free food, drinks on tap. I had a cappuccino and pretended I was a seasoned traveler. When boarding started, I walked onto the plane with a little thrill in my chest. My seat and wide, cushioned, with a huge screen, actual legroom, and a blanket that didn't feel like sandpaper, was waiting for me. I was just settling in with my sparkling water when I noticed a woman, maybe in her late 30s, standing beside me with a boy, maybe 10 years old, holding a tablet. She smiled politely and leaned down. "Hi, sorry to bother you. Would you mind switching seats with my son? He's in 23B. I thought she meant another seat in business, maybe just separated by a row." So I asked, "Oh, where's 23B? She smiled casually. "It's in economy. I'd take your seat, and you could sit back there with him." I blinked. "Sorry. You want me to go to economy so your son can sit here?" Her tone stayed light. He's never flown alone before, and he's a little nervous. I'd feel so much better if we could sit together. It's just a seat swap. Now here's the thing. My company paid for the seat. I didn't just luck into it. It was part of my work trip, my chance to finally experience comfort while flying. I said as politely as I could. "I understand, but I've been looking forward to this seat for weeks. I'm not comfortable switching to economy." Her smile faltered. "It's just a seat. You're a grown woman, he's a child. Don't you have a heart?" I felt heat creep up my neck. Passengers nearby were watching. I said, "I do, but I also have a ticket for this seat. Maybe the airline can help you instead." She sighed, loudly for everyone to hear, and turned to her son. "Honey, I guess you'll have to sit back there all by yourself, because some people just can't be bothered to help." The boy shrugged and looked more interested in his tablet than in me. A flight attendant came over, sensing tension. The woman immediately jumped in. "This passenger is refusing to let my son sit with me." The attendant turned to me. I calmly explained the situation. The attendant nodded and said, "Ma'am, we can't ask passengers to downgrade their seats. If you want to sit with your son, we can move you to economy." The woman's eyes widened. "I paid for business." The attendant tilted her head. "So did she." That was the end of the discussion, or so I thought. The woman huffed off to 23B, muttering, "Some people have no heart." For the first half hour of the flight, I tried to enjoy my seat, but I could feel her eyes on me every time I got up. At one point, when I walked to the restroom, I passed her row. She was talking to another passenger, and I'm pretty sure she was pointing at me. Later, when I returned to my seat, she said under her breath, "Hope you're enjoying yourself while a child sits alone." Here's the kicker. Her son wasn't alone. He was sitting next to a kind older woman, who was chatting with him and helping him with his tablet. He looked perfectly fine. Midway through the flight, the boy even came up to the business section to use the bathroom. He walked past me without a glance, totally relaxed. On his way back, the flight attendant stopped him to offer him a cookie. He grinned, took two, and went back to his seat like nothing was wrong. Meanwhile, I was still wrestling with guilt. I knew I had every right to keep my seat, but something about being called heartless sat in my stomach like a stone. When we landed, she practically sprinted past me in the jet bridge, tossing over her shoulder, "I hope you're proud of yourself." I didn't respond. I just walked out wondering if I'd done the right thing. So, am I the asshole?